Okay, so welcome to everybody who's here and who's coming in. So today we actually have quite an interesting one because we have people from all around Europe. We have Adrian's here from Bereta from Romania. We've Chris from Hopfully in Dublin, and we've Andres from Arpus in Latvia. So what we're going to do is just basically chat the usual, chat about beers, chat about each person's beer, and basically try and get a chance to just see what the scene is in each country across Europe, because I honestly don't have a clue what the beer scene in, say, Romania is. I don't have a notion, so I thought it'd be interesting. Yeah,
that's a surprise for me also.
So we'll just see. And anybody, if you're here taking part, there's a little thing down there. You can, take part in the chat. Raise your hand. We can bring up on stage if you have something interesting you want to add or want to ask. And we'll see. And I know there's people on Facebook, so I'm just going to check that as well, hopefully, and see if that's up and running. So, one moment here. It's just reloading there for me. Yeah, so I'll check that. So obviously, I think, Adrian, you have a better clue about what's happening in the other countries than the other two do, because you actually sell some of the beers. So that gives you an advantage here. But maybe if we just start with you, since you have a better clue.
Sure.
What's the beer scene in Romania? How much is it dominated by multinationals? What's the craft beer scene like? Is it new? Is it growing? What's the interest?
We were not into numbers until recently, because sharing other breweries' beers made us focus a bit on how much we should buy, so the beer doesn't get old and it sells. But it started in 2014 in Romania with a small shop that we did in Timisoara. There was not a big movement until then. Not even home brewers didn't get the opportunity to brew a lot of beer or to participate in any competition. So it all started then as a beer scene for the audience. In 2014, we had, I think, two breweries outside the big ones, so two. And the next one was in 2015.
Yeah, and what are the big ones there?
The big ones are like are the same ones as everywhere else. There's Asahi, there's Heineken, there's Carlsberg, there's AB, you name them. Here, yeah.
Yeah, so it's the same. Yeah, I just thought there might be some big local one there that.
No, the big local ones got bought. There's a really old one right in our home city, the oldest brewery in Romania that never closed down. They're from the 1700s, and they got bought by a bigger brewery in Romania, and that one got bought by Asahi. So
okay, it sounds the same as
they are owned, but it's really funny. People come into Timisoara, our home city, and they ask for a local beer, and they get the Asahi beer. Of course.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same in Ireland. People come to Ireland and they get Guinness, and they think that's a really kind of craft local beer,
So after 2014, when we started home brewing and experimenting and getting a lot of beer from the US through trades, the scene grew. Like, we did a small community. Our friends from Bucharest did a small community, and it kind of grew to the point where it is today, like 50 breweries or 60. That's not a lot, but by Europe standards. But for Romania, it's quite enough.
And it's so 50. You say that's quite a lot.
Yeah, it's like 50. A bunch of them didn't survive last year's, so their focus was on the local market, and the local market kind of went to the big guys, not the small ones.
Right. So anybody, I guess so is it? You've your craft beer scene. It seems like it's a small group growing, but how do you sell? Is it all through shops, or do you what's the kind of the bar scene there? Like, do you manage to sell into it, or?
Well, when we started, we did this for fun. We needed a place where we can drink our geek beers, and yeah, we made that place, and then moved on to importing beers, and then moved on to making beer. So that was our road in all of this. Now our main markets are the European ones. We kind of export more than half of what we do, and the rest we try to sell local at our shop.
Is that much the same as up in Latvia? Much the same kind of scene up there?
Arpus has to answer that, yeah.
Sorry, I said, does that sound like it's much the same kind of scene in Latvia? Because
okay, yeah. Before we start Latvia, I have some question for Bereta. What is your capacity? How big you are?
Oh, we're like 80 hecto.
But you're a gypsy, or?
We're not. We've been gypsy for 2 years, and we only had one beer every month, so it was nothing. And then we moved to our space, and now we can make like 80 hecto every month.
And how do you split that?
8,000 liters per month. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're almost same. We're almost
awesome.
Same.
And how do you split that across?
Did you do that from the beginning, or?
Yeah, we start like gypsy one. We started gypsy one, 2017, and we brew it about gypsy one. So it was about 4 batches per month. It was about 8,000 liters per month.
That's still good. We just had 800 per month in that period.
Then, yeah, because we really like rent half of the brewery. We have one brewery in Latvia, like giving only for gypsy brewing.
Smart guy, no pain.
No, they're not so smart because they try to make their brand beers, like really cheap lagers, but they'll put a lot of money in equipment. And then no one was buying this lager. And then we coming first. He said, okay, we'll take half of your capacity. And they said, okay, no problem. And then now everyone brewing there. Everyone in Latvia brewing, all gypsy projects brewing there.
Okay.
So the brewery just only for gypsy beers.
How many projects like gypsy brewing do you have in Latvia?
Ooh, at the moment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5? And you were like pioneers?
No, we don't. We was second. When I started working with beers, it was 11 years ago. In same situation, I started working in a craft beer bar, brewery, small one craft beer shop, about 11 years ago. And then we moved to some restaurant. We open we have a dream like open a brew pub, like a brew pub. We rent a place, we rent a restaurant, we have a really nice craft beer bar there, and then we have idea about to brew beer there, like a brew pub, and we start to gypsy in De Molen in Holland. It was 2000.
Nice guys.
2014. Started brewing there, and with another brand, of course. It was not Arpus, not another brand, and everything was great. But then this idea about brew pub just disappeared, I will say, and then only 2017. Me and 3 of my friends had an idea to open
you're 4 guys also.
Yeah, 4 guys. We are 4 guys in our group.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah, we're 4 guys. Yeah, like
only the odd one out here because I think there's 3 of you and you're still gypsy, aren't you? So
sorry?
I said Chris and Hopfully. I think he's the odd one out because I think there's 3 of you.
Oh yeah.
Compared
to you're 3 or?
We actually we actually did the opposite. We started with our own brewery, and then we went.
Really?
Oh my God!
It's interesting story. Why? Why?
Because here's the thing. And looking back, we don't know if it was the right move to actually start with our own brewery, because what we did in 2017 is that we bought an equipment from Metalman, which is the brewery where we contract today, but the equipment was 50 years old. Yeah, it was the oldest craft brewing equipment in Ireland, right? So you can imagine how hard it was to work with it. So it was a 500-liter equipment, and I was the only one brewing. And we had like 1,000-liter tanks. So I used to double brew, and my double brew would take about 16, 17 hours a day. So everything was just manual, It was so much work. After 1 year, I was like, guys, I'm gonna die here, and we're not even brewing as much as we need to actually make money. So we need to think about something. So we decided to sell the equipment and just go gypsy.
And you found a buyer for it.
We did. It's but the equipment is now with Westwood Herd. It's still in Ireland, and it's still functioning. As far as I know, they're using the equipment. So
they're still going with 2 brew days per day.
I don't know, but that's what I was doing. It was really tough. It was really tough.
We do it. Brew tank is 1,000 liters, and fermentation tank is 2,000 liters. We always brew double batch.
And you brew the same day, or just brew one day and the next day?
For hazy stuff, for IPAs, we brew same days, and for sours 2 days.
Okay.
So maybe you'll open one of yours, Adrian. There, that you had the beer you wanted to look at.
This beer.
Yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt, but
anybody?
Thanks for this. It's the Hopfully, no cars. Yeah.
Oh, right.
It's pretty funny. Even at our tastings, we just go through the IPAs like nothing's there, and get all dramatic when a sour comes in. So yeah, it was the first one I saw it. It's a pretty easy choice, and even in Romania, which I consider a really conservatory market, the sours really come through.
Yeah.
So nice.
I think it tastes really good.
Yeah, we had a raspberry and lime sour, and the idea is that we wanted to keep that in the core range.
Okay.
But this year we decided to actually. I was like, there's so many, there's so many options, so many ways that you can actually work on a sour. So many fruit, so many things you can add. It's so easy to work with that I think we should keep, a sour in the core, but we should keep just changing, and the recipe and what we're using. So we launched that one, which is it's a lime, peaches, and sour cherry goza. So we brewed yesterday a vanilla passion fruit goza, and then we're doing a dry hopped goza as well, just one after the other. So
I gotta ask.
Sorry, go ahead.
Which hops would you use?
So it depends. For the first no car, we used the Eldorado and Comet. For the passion fruit, I use Citra because of the passion fruit punch. Yeah, and for the dry hopped, I'm using Simcoe, Mosaic, Azaka, and Comet.
You're bold there.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the way to go. Well, but the use of hops is a funny thing because I've been doing a lot of home brews this last year, and there's the quicksand. One of the things I wanted to do here, was actually to have one hop like in the forefront. That was not one of the it's not one of the new the new hops on the market, or all the hops that are used for the New England IPAs and juicy IPAs.
You want to say there's no Sabro in it? Okay.
I decided to go with Comet, as the main hop addition. Like
I love
this
Comet.
beer, it's Comet all throughout the boil, and then again for the dry hop I use Comet, Azacca, Amarillo, and Citra. Now the Azacca, Amarillo, and Citra is really just to back up the Comet, because the Comet is the main star of the the brew, and it turned out really nice. Now I've been trying to use some of the other old school hops in this particular style, like in home brews, but it's kind of pretty hard. There's a reason why those new hops work, but it's been kind of fun. Like there are some hops like Centennial, Columbus, even Fuggles, that you can actually use a lot of those hops in those styles, at least to back up, whatever you're trying to do there. So it's been pretty interesting to.
Yeah, about Comet. I think they have very big alpha, no?
Comet. Yes, yeah.
A lot of alpha, yeah. Okay, because honestly, we don't use some hops with big alpha in hazy IPAs because.
Yeah, in our hazy IPAs, I like the hazy IPAs, but a lot of the hazy IPAs that I drink, I find them very cloying because they're too sweet to my palate. And yeah, so I do use some boiling hops in my New England style. I like that bitterness at the end, to balance out the sweetness. I think the balance is nice. If it's too bitter, not great. If it's too sweet, not great. So hard to find the balance though.
In the end, you have to try them all to see what you like. It was last year for us. We tried everything we could, like jumping from no hops through the hot side to now using 5 grams per liter on the hot side to 8 grams per liter on the hot side.
Yeah,
and it's funny because you expect to get a lot of bitterness in the end, and just playing around with different measures, you just get flavor and aroma and just keep the oils in.
Yeah, it's and I have no doubt of the role that actually the hot side plays in any brew, because you're never going to get the same character, even if it's late edition, and especially there's something that's very interesting that, it's using old and oxidized hops. Like if you brew like a homebrew batch and you purely use on your hot side like a 2020 Cascade, and you use a 2018 Cascade. I've done that, and like the difference is quite stark, but not for the bad. Like for the Cascade hops, the old ones, you get a lot of citrusy and fruity, and for the new ones, you usually get a greener, more grassy. There is exactly. So it's really interesting using the old hops in on the hot side.
We're having hops laying around. Sorry, man. Laying around on the hot air temperature. We keep the bags for the hot side.
Yeah.
We leave them to get old.
Okay, in all experience, we use only like a freshest hops. We really understand the freshest hops what we can get. We use for our beers. Now, if it's we got fresh citra, we use this. No, in winter we use fresh citra hops. If we now we can get fresh Australian hops, we use now to just brew more beer with New Zealand and Australian hops. Yeah, we try to use always like a freshest what we can get from Yakima or from Australia and New Zealand. We try don't use it like the all hops. If you have something in stock, we use it for sour beers. With the full IPAs, we use just freshest what we can get.
Oh no! What I said, we're keeping hops aside for the hot part.
Yeah. Let's talk about the old Cascade or no, like oldest Cascade hops or oldest.
Exactly.
Because of course I really can buy Cita 2018 per €10 per kilo, I think. No, but I don't need Citra 2019. I think
We're never gonna use that on the dry hop. Yeah.
Oh, not of the dry hop. Yeah. But there is. I think there is a value on the hot side, because if you do some experiments, you can get some very nice results there.
Did you guys have problems before the pandemic with hop shortage? Because we were we forgot to contract hops for 2019, and we just couldn't find any. And if the pandemic never came, I think we would have problems getting hops.
We contracted, in 2020 for the year 2020, but we, like our case, in the pandemic, when the lockdown happened in Ireland, we lost 80% of our trade, because most of our trade was on trade on the pubs. We did very little can, and so we were like, wow, we're screwed now, because all the pubs closed. Only 20% of our sales are going out to the off-license. Yeah. And the contracts that we have and everything else. But we kind of, we managed to pull it off, and we kind of changed everything, from production planning to we changed even our core range. We kept just one IPA that we have from the very beginning, which is the Graciosa there, the tropical IPA that you have. But then because we had contracted, before we were okay for hops here.
Same story with us. We have contracts and we have a good company in Estonia, like in the Baltic state, a very good company. They really supply us with Simpson malt and hops, and it's not a big problem. And then we got contract with Yakima Wally directly, and it's still not so big problem. Yeah, Brian.
No, sorry, I'm just wondering that Chris was saying like most of their sales were in pubs. Is that typical in Latvia and Romania as well, or were you always selling cans? What way were you distributing?
Yeah, well, maybe I can start. For us, it was honestly probably we win from this COVID situation. Why? Because we export more like 90%, 95% what we brew. We export outside for Latvia. It's Holland, China, Thailand, UK, Denmark. I know a lot of different Holland, France, now Belgium. Now we export a lot, and I see it. A lot of breweries in Europe just stop the brewing process. They don't launch new beers. They're stopping all process. And we just brewing, and we really sell everything what we brew. We just sell it, and we're working in COVID situation. Nights, 110% of our capacity. We're working really hard. And honestly, I will say we win from this situation. And in Latvia, yes, Horeca was closed, bars was closed, but the craft beer shop still was working. And the local breweries, the same story. Some the best Latvian craft breweries, they was struggling. They stopped brewing, and we were just us, just us launch every week new beer, and it was sold out after some 2-3 days.
Right.
And, we got lucky. We got lucky. I will say honestly, this COVID situation probably probably for 2-3 weeks was all good. What will happen next? And then after 1 month, now in the first wave, after 1 month of struggling, every old distribution company said, "Oh, do you have some beers in your stock? You want to buy it?" Said, "We have. Okay, we'll take everything." It's like, "What? We take everything they have, because no one, another breweries don't brew. We need the beers." It's like, okay, no problem. we can brew.
Keep going.
And same situation in the second wave in autumn. It was same situation. In the first 2-3 weeks, some struggling. We just brew it because we know it. Everything will be okay. You will see it. And after 2-3 weeks, again, all distribution companies said, "Do you have some beers?" Said, "Yes, we have some beers." We bang everything what you have. Said, "No problem. We will sell it. You will get it next week." Honestly, yeah, because we're a small brewery. It's only 12,000 liters per month. So okay, 14, 1.4, yeah. It's small. We're a really small brewery. For big breweries, I know in Latvia was big problems. And some breweries in Latvia, they selling beer only in Horeca, only in restaurant bar business in Latvia. And then I know some of them not survive this COVID situation.
Yeah, so there's an advantage to being small because you only need a small piece of the market.
Yeah,
exactly, and you clean less because you have a small space. That's why you quit your brewery, right? And just went back to gypsy brewing because of the cleaning.
Exactly, but think about that. We are three, in the brewery. We're three friends. It's myself. There's my partner here, Dublin Junior. He's marketing and sales, and we have Alberto. That it's my other partner. That he lives in Barcelona.
Okay.
And he's the financial guy. Sometimes he would have to come from Barcelona to actually help me in the production because I couldn't do it on my own. Like bottling day, we started doing bottles instead of cans, and then it was so much work. We had nights that I slept in the brewery like many nights. Many nights. And I was like, man,
me too. Don't worry.
Jesus Christ. My kettle was like, it was so old, like it was like an oil burner. Sometimes I would be fixing that burner, like in the middle of a brew that I have to, fix the burner. It was just Jesus Christ. Like when you look back, it's fun. But when you're there, like in the moment, you're like, Jesus, fuck. I want to give up now.
It's the papers and the cleaning. I don't know how much it took for you guys to get your good to go for brewing, but in Romania, it's like 1 year plus from the point when, hey, I want to make a brewery till the end. It's like sick.
Yeah.
Of course, we need to understand the cleaning is the biggest our job. Is the cleaning,
Cheap. It's like
cleaning is the biggest part of the job.
But look, here's the thing. One thing, if you want to be a brewer and you don't want to do any cleaning, that's not for you.
Just don't do it.
Just find something else.
Sell the beer.
That's most of the job.
Exactly.
It's not all as romantic as it's turned out to be.
A lot of people think the brewmaster job is very romantic and very beautiful. If you look at Instagram, of course, it looks great. But honestly, oh my god.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any issues with infections or?
Not with infections, but
it sells too fast to get infected, right?
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
Probably for because we brew more like a hazy IPA. It's probably the biggest problem for us. Sometimes we get this hop burn, and this
Well,
problem.
yeah, that's good.
And no, and the second one, probably, of course, we always scared about oxidation. For us, the biggest enemy is oxygen for our beers, and just by
What's your
oxygen.
canning line?
Yeah, we buy it from UK. We buy it
The micro can.
micro can.
We have that also, the CL5.
Okay, yeah, we have same.
It's the same, right? The
Yeah.
first one or the second one?
Second one,
Yeah, the inline everything, right?
yes, inline everything.
Okay. Do you have issues with that? Like,
Every line has some issues. Every button line,
of course,
every line has a problem. Of course, we have issues, and but
like doing really high carb beer?
no,
No?
no. I think the first batch that we launched, it probably had some problems, but we just did it by ourselves. But then, no. At the moment, I will say not. Everything is great. Probably some
Awesome.
problem to close the cans. We had some problem to this how to close.
Simmer with the simmer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, but usually those get fixed easily.
yeah. And one more thing, I really recommend to everyone care about the drink fresh, sell fresh, drink fresh. But honestly, the biggest problem is how you how you keep it. Keep cold is more bigger problem for hazy IPAs.
Well,
You really
thanks for mentioning that, because
yeah.
yesterday we canned a beer which is called Treat It Like Milk, and
Okay.
we kind of urge people to keep them cold and keep them in the fridge and respect them. In the end, it's about respect to the brew, because yeast does its job. It's all the proteins in the beer do their job if they're kept warm.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
please.
What we do now, we just buy refrigerators to put inside in the bars. Really, we don't have marketing money, but we just buy refrigerators and put inside in best Latvian craft beer bars and shops, and say, please keep our beer cold. And
That's one of the points. If we're asked to sell somewhere, that's the first question. Can you keep all the beer, everything? Can you keep it cold? And if the answer is yes, we can go ahead and do business and talk whatever. If the answer is no, is like, let's do something about that. Yeah.
But in Latvia, a lot of restaurants, bars, they look at you like idiot.
I think it's normal in the end. I think we have to understand that everybody bought beer from their contracts. The beer is pasteurized in the end. Nothing much can happen. It's pretty different the way we approach things. I think in Poland they pasteurize quite a lot on their beers.
So yours aren't pasteurized at all?
I don't think Arpus pasteurizes, right?
No.
There you go.
Of course not.
No, we don't either.
No. We don't pasteurize our beers.
Okay.
And but of course, and it's a great job if you guys work with this fridge, like a full cycle fridge deliveries. It's very tough. We try to do it now, and because we will understand when we try beer, we just put the beer in a cold room in a brewery, the cans, then outside is the brewery, and after 6 months we just tried, and there was a lot of big difference in the taste. Yeah, sorry if you heard my kids. Sorry, I just got 2 months ago. I went father for 2 months. Yeah,
oh man, that's a hard one.
Yeah,
that's a life changer. Good luck.
It's my first, and it's
You go back to sleeping in the brewery.
I do apologize about my English, and about my girl. Yeah.
No, it's not a problem. It's a cool sound. When we started Bereta, right, like 5 months from when my kid was born. So It was a hard ride and cool.
Well, my girlfriend's pregnant, so I guess.
Oh.
Good luck, bro.
That's happening. That's
You know
happening
what
soon
will
for me.
happen? You'll remember those nights sleeping in the brewery.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. It's the moment. Please sleep. How much you can
Exactly.
sleep. How much you can.
Yeah.
And for sure, for your girlfriend or wife, sorry, I just say it, sleep how much you can now.
Yeah.
So we're
And Paul, thank you for a question about Star Sands. Yeah, of course, Star Sands is a great thing. Cheers. Yeah. But now I don't know. It's unlegal in Europe. Yes, Star Sands is illegal now.
I think it.
sorry, what is Tarzan?
Star Sands it's sterilizing liquid.
Okay.
Yeah, because question for Paul was a question for Paul in the chat, and
It was replaced, but by another product.
yeah, and I was still we use this one.
We use it also.
I still use the Star Sun at home. Yeah.
We use Star Sands too, but with another name. It's the same liquid. It's same
Yeah.
stuff.
It's Tarsan and some acid, of course.
Okay.
The stronger we get, it's at its best.
So so sorry, I wanted to ask you. You just mentioned on the canning there. So
Yeah.
are all your cans are 440? Are there?
For us, yes, we use only one side per can. I see the guys use different size.
Yeah, that's right.
Honestly, we think about this idea maybe to use for Imperial Stout, use 0.33, but then honestly, we just look in the line and say, okay, we need to fix this one, we need to change this one to make 0.3, we need to change this one. Fuck it. Let's go with 0.44 for Imperial Stout still. This way, we don't change a size of can.
Yeah, I think most of, in our case, the decision about, because since we started canning with the mobile canning guys, Bevcraft, we started with 330 mil, and then we moved all to 440s, and then what we decided now is to go with 330 mil for the core and the one-offs in 440s. But it's there because there's a market here in Ireland, which I think it's nice, which is restaurants and pizzerias and all of that, and they rather have the 330 mil. So that's a big chunk of the market that you wouldn't get really with a 440. So the decision for us to have a core range in 330s was mainly based on the market itself. But everything and the one-offs that we brewed, and they're all in 440s.
Okay.
Okay, but we say core range. How much beer do you have in your core range? And
well, core range. So that's where we. So I don't know if you got it there. We have the Inside Out.
yes,
We got
We
it.
have the Shine Bright. Yeah, the Shine Bright. We have the Graciosa, and we have a sour now. The No Cars that we're going to be. No Cars is going to be always a different. It's going to be No Cars, but a different label and a different product, obviously.
okay.
There's a
Because
sour.
honestly,
now.
we don't have core range. We brew every.
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that I nowadays it's one of the things that's interests me the most, because the market is different everywhere, and this in 2020 we actually came to a point that we were like, well, what's the point of or having a core range? What's how would it be different for us if we didn't have a core range and just go with one-offs? But that's not what the market that we were in are expecting us to do, actually. We have a lot of on-trade and we have a lot of off-license in Ireland that they are still expecting us to do a core, mainly, for the reason that the beer drinkers that are coming back, they keep asking for the same product, which is nice. right? If someone goes back and say, hey, well, that inside out that you had last week, do you have that? Oh no, we don't have that. That's gone. You're like, okay. And so we kept that for in Ireland more reason. One of the interesting about you guys is that you export most of your production. We don't. Most of our production is still in the Irish market, and but some of the places that we export to, like Russia, they kind of ask for a core range. They're like, hey, no, we want to have that set of beers that you can ship, constantly. And so that's interesting because a few years ago, actually, when we were, actually looking for a distribution in Ireland, and I was having a chat with a distributor in a beer festival, and I was like, "Look, we're going. If you guys don't know, I live in Ireland for 10 years, but I'm Brazilian. So I was like, look, we're shipping our beers to Brazil now, and all that jazz." And he was like, "Look, what's the point of shipping your beers to Brazil if you don't even have a market in Ireland?" And I was like, "That might be truth. I might have to work on that. Actually, it's
good point. But it can be harder to grow the market where you are than
exactly.
just ship the beers."
Yeah, no, I mean, if you have a market outside, great, absolutely great. But he was like, "Well, you didn't even." I think the message was like, "You should go into the trouble of trying to get your internal market sorted, because there's space here. How are you appealing to the to your local market?" And that to me, I took that as an insight. I was like, "Wow, I think there's some wisdom there that I think we should focus more on the Irish market." And that's kind of what we did. We've got in 2020 now. We are now working with a new distributor that we're really happy with, which is Radical Drinks. That's the O'Hara's group. I think Brian might know them.
Yeah.
The partnership's been really successful. So now we're kind of turning our eyes to the export market and seeing like, wow, nice. Now we have a partner that we're working well in Ireland. So we're going to focus on the export market in Europe. And it's nice to see that for you guys, it was actually different. You have more of your production going to the export.
Yeah. Because honestly, in Latvia, if Brian have a question about the Latvian beer market, very fast story. The three big companies like Heineken, Carlsberg, and Olvi Group. It's like a Lapin Cool. It's some Scandinavian huge beer company. There are three big players in the market. Then we have 69 breweries. 1.8 million people. Only 1.8 million people in Latvia. And we have 69 breweries in the moment. And the biggest part of them, of course, is what is interesting. After these big breweries, the second shelf, it's like a Latvian traditional lagers. It's very old, I would say, 40-year-old breweries make only two types of lagers, like a dark and light. And if we go to Latvian supermarket shelf, you will see, 40 breweries, but only dark lager and pale lager, nothing else. And then we have a lot of small craft breweries, some gypsy breweries and stuff like this. And local market, honestly, I will say, for us, if you brew beer only for local market, we will be dead for sure. Now we are happy with some of the beer what we brew. We have only 6-10 cases of cans what can left for Latvian market. Everything else is going to Holland, France, and Scandinavians. But honestly, I don't see my IPA in Latvian supermarkets. And honestly, I work with supermarkets a lot, and I know this from inside how to work with big change in Latvia. They don't care about craft beer. They say, "Oh, what IPA in my supermarket shelf? The price will be, I don't know, €3.50 or €4 per can. It's so expensive."
Exactly.
They say it's so expensive. I can get some new lager from local small, probably craft brewery for €1.59 in the shelf. And people will buy this lager more in supermarkets. And this way, Latvian breweries, and not only Arpus, not only us, we have like some Hopfully and other brewery, they start to export. Because another way, we cannot survive in local market. And Horeca, the second problem in Horeca, the big breweries, they buy at taps. It's like in Ireland and the Romania probably same situation.
It's the same, yeah.
They just buy taps. It's very difficult.
It's good for you that the Dutch just drink a lot. They're crazy.
In Riga, we have like an old town, like a really, 800 years old town with a lot of tourists, and before COVID, of course. But 99% of them is bought from big breweries. And in old town, probably we can buy Arpus only in 1 or 2 bars, only because it's my friends, And
So even the tourists come in looking for local beer, they get the second.
They got local beer, but I read something before this evening about Romanian market. It's saying you go to the city Sika.
Which one? Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever. Yes. You order for local beer and you got Asahi. You got
exactly.
Beer. It's the same problem in Latvia. You go to Old Town. You order beer this is local beer from Lielvardes. It's brewing in Lithuania, in another country. It's not local beer. But the people say, "Oh, it's local," But it's Heineken shit.
Yeah, but that's still normal. That's still normal because we're small and we didn't get the word out that much, so nobody knows. We tried in Romania to make just the Romanian breweries kind of festival for everybody. We gather around in one weekend 12 to 15,000 people in a square, 5,000-6,000 a day.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it was cool. That was in 2018. So we did a second edition in 2019 in our local city, and it was good. But still, in 2019, we did the Haze Fest, which, as the name says it was a geek-forward festival, and we got a lot of breweries from Europe. And the second edition we were planning to do in 2020, but COVID came and we didn't.
Some story with us. We have festivals, we organize festivals. So, yeah.
There you go. We were trying to carry that tradition, that small tradition on, but COVID came. We're gonna do it next year though. So
we hope to. We just, I think I just 2 days ago posted about in festival page. I just posted. We just move it to next year, and
everybody's waiting for some festivals.
Yeah. that festival organization is really nice, and
no, it's not.
Well,
no, it's true.
But we didn't organize any festivals, but we used to do a lot of markets, right? As Hopfully, when we started. From the very beginning, we've been working with local artists to design our labels. So our labels, all of them are designed by local artists. Some of them at the very beginning, we worked with our artists from Spain, from Australia, from the US. But now most of them are just underground local artists, and we have to have a market every month in a local pub in Dublin. That we used to gather those artists to sell their artwork, because it's really tough for artists to sell their artwork as well. They're underground artists, to find a place to sell their art. We used to do that every month. Obviously, again, last year that didn't happen. But that's something that we're very much looking forward to, doing again. It's just being out there,
like being active, doing stuff,
and
living
talking face to face, and having a pint, and having food and talking to artists. That's really, it's something that we kind of miss a lot.
It sounds good. Really sounds good.
We had an open call like that we called Call to Art, in which we looked at artists' job and portfolio and just picked off stuff that they never used before commercially and bought it and used it on the label. So we met some cool artists through that. We also have a thing that's called Bereta Brewing Community, in which we make 3 collabs per year with home brewers to give them the chance to...
That's beautiful. By the
That's
way.
sick, I guess.
Sorry to interrupt.
It's 18 o'clock there, 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. That was the curfew time here in Romania, so it got to us. That was the point when everything had to be closed and no life mattered unless it was inside.
Okay, and for us, for both labels, for us, it's at the moment it's very easy. All labels what they have for Arpus Brewery, it's a real photo, analog photo, but my business partner, my very good friend.
It looks amazing. Sorry to interrupt.
Everything of them is just photo. Yes, it's really analog photo, and because the hobby, he's a really great brewer, and the hobby of them, he like photo. All labels is just picture of him.
There's a brewery in Romania, sorry Brian, called the Anagram, which is doing the same thing. Just photos, really nice ones on their labels. So,
and I have an idea. Maybe you can steal it from me. I have an idea where you can use. Come on, we can use it.
Exactly.
We will make a petition, like a photo competition for local photo lovers. You can make a picture, send for us, then we can use it in the label, and then of course we'll pay it or use it some. I don't know.
I think that's fair to pay for what you use. Yeah.
We just buy it. Maybe it's a competition, like a full year competition. The winner got very nice camera, stuff like this. Probably.
Nice.
Yeah, one thing I noticed on yours is that your names are just basically all the ingredients.
We just when we started, we just thinking about, okay, now we'll brew every month, probably 4, 6, 8 new beers, and we need singing new names. Fuck it. Why? We need to make it easy. Just put what they have inside, and of course we're not first ones. I think the Cloudwater was the first brewery who started to do it, and honestly, I would say yes and be fan of Cloudwater beers. And we say it's a good idea. Why we need to every 8 months we need a new name of the beer? It's so difficult. Just put inside what they have.
Exactly.
It's triple IPA with citra hops or mosaic hops. Everyone when buy it in shop,
there's an interesting as well that in some it depends on the legislation of the country as well. Some countries you have to have a name for your product, so you actually need to name it. So, no, but you can't name a product it's a double dry hop IPA when you've got 108 other double dry hopped IPAs in the market. So you actually have to name the product. It has to have a name. Yeah.
This is kind of a surname because the name is the brewery. So,
well, that's the name. That's the name of the company.
Is the brewery.
That's not the name.
Oh yeah.
You see, but some places legislation it's a tricky thing. Depending on where you go. So even when when you put the products, if you get a brewery like Omnipolo, for example, they don't have any of the ingredients on the label. Like you're not going to see it there because the legislation there actually allows you not to describe the products that you use for your beer.
And sometimes you don't know what Omnipolo put inside in the beer.
Exactly.
No. But it's just an example. Like in Ireland, we can't do that. We actually have to, we need to have, at least as far as I know, we need to have the ingredients that we used in the product. It has to be on the label.
We need to have that also.
Yeah.
Okay, we work for European Union. Every one of you, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but come to Romania.
Romania is not inside. Okay, sorry, man. I think in Ireland you need to put only allergens. You don't need to put all.
We need it has to be in bold.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Same story here, but okay.
Yeah, it has to be in bold. Like, but you have to have the message as well. Like you see, like allergens, including cereals, in bold. So whatever is in bold is an allergen. So
same story.
Yeah.
Same story with us.
Yeah.
If we. Yeah. Okay. Same story with Latvia, of course, because it's European Union rules. But Omnipolo, they still it's Sweden and it's the same rules, but they just don't put some flavor stuff what they use for a beer.
But then I don't know what it is about it. But if you have your own internal legislation, let's say Ireland, was the same thing. So you don't have to have the ingredients there. You can just just have your label, and it's a double dry hopped IPA. Fine, and then you ship it elsewhere. I think who's responsible for that product is the importer. It's not the brewery anymore.
Exactly.
So whatever way they're selling it outside, it's not Omnipolo's problem anymore, or it wouldn't be my problem anymore as Hopfully. It's the importer following the law of the land there. So.
Would they get away with just putting on another sticker or something? Then maybe
yes, a lot of them do it because when we were shipping to Brazil, that was the thing that was happening. Well, it had to be in Portuguese, so it had to print another label and just stick it over.
At the moment, we just printed only French Latvian, English, Latvian, and French language in the label because French is really asking for us to go, please. And we just, I think 2 months ago, we started with French language in the label, but we will see now every distribution company just see it like we have French language. That maybe you can put some Flemish or you can put some German language.
Make a hole for yourself.
You should think ahead and put some Romanian there.
Why
not?
We know it, but
okay. We have a story about Romanian market. We have a story about Latvian market. What about Ireland beer market? Of course, we know some more famous beer from Ireland, but
the beer market here. But do you want to know about the Irish market itself? Like as in the range of breweries that we have, or do you want to know about the market in the off license, like in the bottle shops? Because those are different things. All right, because if you go to
time, I think we have a time.
Go. Yeah, let's go. Because I think the Irish craft scene is really nice. It's shaping itself up really nice. I have breweries here that I love, and I can give them a shout out. Like I really like Dot. Like Dot, I think they're doing one of the most incredible beers in Europe. And you have some other breweries here, like Whiplash.
Yeah,
Rascals. Yeah.
Getaway or get Whiplash is more famous one, I think. Then Getaway or Getaway, yeah. Getaway Brewery. Getaway, no? Sir, my English is very bad.
No idea. Is that a particular brew from Whiplash?
I will check. Don't worry. I will check.
Gawi Bay.
Yes.
Exactly.
Gawi Bay. Yeah.
Nice brewery.
Yeah.
And Land and Labor. I met the guys.
Land and Labor. Yes.
That's really good.
That's a brewery that actually, if I'm not mistaken, the Land and Labor brewer and owner, I think he was the head brewer for Gawi Bay. I might be mistaken here, but I think he's the guy.
Yeah, he still is the head brewer.
Oh, he is still the head brewer there.
Exactly.
Okay. Thanks for the correction there. Thanks. And by the way, the last time that we had the chat, Brian, Will was on the chat, which was Will was previously the head brewer for Gawi Bay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He now is a hop seller, and that's okay. His. But the scene in Ireland is, in terms of breweries, it's really awesome. But then when you walk to a bottle shop that's, to an off license, it is amazing still, but it's mind blowing, the amount of beers that we have. It's like it is really like a toy shop for a kid. Yeah, you're going to be looking around for half an hour before you decide what you want to buy. And there's, everything from the Nordic countries to the UK, as in, Verdant and Cloudwater, and the US, like everywhere. Even in Spain, like Garage and, Baskeland. It's an amazing, when you walk into a off license in Dublin, it's an amazing scene, like.
Ooh.
And it's something scary as well, because, at the end of the day, there's a lot of competition out there. So, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful to see.
I have some story about Irish beer. Everyone say Guinness, it's more famous Irish beer. But for me, when I started to work for craft beer, for a beer, 2010, 2019, I got in our beer shop, craft beer shop, we start selling like a Porthouse brewery. And we really start to sell it. And I really honestly was falling in love. I really like these beers what they have. The lagers, the IPAs, I remember, it was really, for 2019, for me, it was wow, From Ireland, it's not Guinness, it's not Kilkenny, it's not Murphy. Porthouse. I have a dream. I want to go there. I really have a dream. I don't want to visit Guinness Brewery. I want to visit this Porthouse pub, and have the beers that they have.
The Porterhouse were probably one of the very first, I think.
Yeah.
And the pubs are nice. I like pubs too.
It's what I think about Irish beer market. I want to visit Porthouse Brewery still, like a.
See, one of the interesting things about the Irish market is, I don't know if everyone has that view, because I see the Irish market today as it's a very forward-thinking market. But last year I was in Brazil again, because my family still lived there, and we brewed a collaboration with a brewery in São Paulo, and they asked me, like, what's the scene like in Ireland? Because they didn't know. And the scene in Brazil, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And the creativity, how creative the brewers there are, especially because of the amount of products that they can, incorporate in the brew. It's just unbelievable. Yeah. And they were like, what's the scene there? And I was like, oh, the scene there is, we're right now it's, the New Englands, and I think West Coast is going to be a big thing again. And, a lot of sour fruited beers. And they were like, oh, Jesus, I thought it was like, the red ale and stout kind of thing. And I was like, no. That's the main market. It's still, for sure. That's, it's your Guinness and your Smithwick's. But when the craft scene is completely different. It's way modern. Yeah, it's way more modern than, and I think it's actually, it's kind of a mirror of what happens in, in the US and in the UK mainly. But, yeah.
But if we will brew some red ale in Latvia, like Arpus brew, probably will sell only 2 boxes of beer, honestly. With
Exactly.
no one in Latvia will buy red ale. They will say, what the hell is this one? Yeah, if you'll brew some Pilsner, I will sell like this way. But we're not ready for Pilsner. I'm a big fan of Pilsners. And we have some ideas.
But it's hard to sell a red ale in Ireland.
Okay.
Unless you're one of the big guys, like you're Smithwick's and all of that. But it's a hard selling. It's a hard selling for the craft community.
Yeah,
a red ale, unless it's a red IPA, or you could.
Please.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Funny thing about what you said is that we have 4 tanks now filled with lagers. So
my man.
I don't know how that came up to be.
My man.
They're all gonna be dry hop, so.
I like a dry hop lager. I like a nice dry hop lager.
Not heavily, just light.
I like really Czech Pilsner, really dry, crispy,
Yeah, I think that the Czechs should do it because they know to do it perfectly.
Yeah.
Now we have some conversation with some German brewery in Bamberg. I make some collaboration.
Awesome.
We really want to box a smoked Pilsner, like really smoky and Pilsner, really crispy and dry. Because me and I know Vladimir, like my business partner, he's a author of photo and head brewmaster now for us. And we both is a really big fan of Pilsner. But because in Latvia, I know the biggest problem for lager, for Pilsner, in the market, we have too much shit Pilsners. The biggest problem. Lager is a very beautiful beer style, and Pilsner is a very amazing beer style. Very difficult to brew. The biggest problem is too much shit Pilsners in the market.
Exactly.
And
you can't get through them. You'll just...
Because all price is higher.
Exactly.
Or price
That's
more
why.
higher. And we're really thinking, well, we want to be a Pilsner. We want to brew Pilsner non-brewery. But we really understand, okay, we'll brew it. And then next, the price will be about €3 per can in a local beer shop. And people, now we're just thinking what another breweries try to do it. Everyone said, it's for €3, it's shitty. It's shit. I can buy in supermarket cheaper, twice cheaper beer and taste same. It's like, okay, we will not do pills now.
Sad face.
Yes.
Sad face and...
Sure. Pilsner for us. Pilsner, it's West Coast IPA is the next what we want to brew. It's West Coast IPA, really clean. Because if you look for Arpus beer, we brew hazy beers, juicy beers. And why? Maybe it's short. It's like a history story about Arpus and hazy beers. When 2016, I was visit States first time with my friends, with Vladimir, with my business partner, with Vladimir, we visit States.
Which part?
New England, of course.
In New York.
No. Well, New York too, but more like a Hill Farmstead, Boston with Trillium, Treehouse, stuff like this.
Massachusetts and...
Yes, Vermont, Massachusetts, and we're going to Philadelphia for Treehouse breweries, and we visit New York, of course, for other half, and Finbeck. Because, and when we visit 2016, first time, because I'm feeling in love. I think 2015 I was in Mikkeller Beer Festival. falling in love for New England IPAs, and we just buy tickets going to States.
That's when it boomed, like really boomed.
Yeah, and we was so excited about this beer style. We were falling in love for this so juicy and hazy beers, and we're coming back to Latvia, and we cannot buy it. We're coming back inside Latvia, and what is going inside the beer shops, and everywhere.
We'll do it.
Nothing to drink, some red ales, barley wine, wheat beers. I wanted some West Coast IPAs. I want some hazy stuff. And then I looked to Vladimir and said, "Come on, man, let's brew by ourselves. Let's open the brewery, start to make by ourselves because we want to drink some hazy beers." And then when we start the brews, hazy beers, and now we say, "Okay, hazy beers is good. We love it, but honestly,
let's do some pilsners."
Yes, but now if you go to some bars, we're searching for some pilsners and some clean West Coast. We need to brew some West Coast and some clean pilsner. And now we're thinking about these beer styles for sure.
Here's the thing: I secretly brew Saisons at home because it's my favorite style.
It's a great, come on, it's a great style.
It's great. It's amazing beer style.
We have some Saisons in some barrels right now.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Can't wait to get them out of there, but they should stay a lot more. We have some Chardonnay and some rum barrels.
And is there any market for those in Romania or Latvia?
Sorry?
Is there any market for Saisons in Romania or Latvia? Or
No. Latvia not. No, Saison du Pont for me is one of the greatest beer in the world. I really love it, but I really understand. I cannot brew the same one. Yeah. I cannot do it like the quality. What I can brew will be not same like Saison du Pont. It means I will not brew it. And
Saison du Pont is it's a classic, and to me, like the Brooklyn Brewing Sriracha Saison is it's a modern classic too. It's an absolute cracker, that beer.
Yeah, I really love it. I was lucky. I would meet Garrett Oler by myself. He was visit Latvia, so 2015, I think, and we just shared some Sriracha with him. It's a really good beer.
And it's my favorite hops. So
okay,
I'm biased. Yeah, I actually tried to brew a New England with that. It didn't work out, but still working.
It should work out. Why not?
Well, it's just Sriracha Ace has a really.
I don't like dill either, but
yeah, it has a really distinctive, profile. I get a lot of dill. I get a lot of coconut. I get a punch of lime. But if you use it too much, it kind of gets soapy, like in soap that you wash your hand.
Exactly.
So it's kind of hard to work with it, in high amounts. Now, the next thing I'm doing now is I love the coconut profile of the Sriracha, and now there's a new hop that has that coconut profile, which is Sabro. So I'm trying to work something out with those two. But Sriracha Ace is a really, it's a love-hate thing for, in the community. Some people love it, some people hate it.
For sure.
I happen to love it.
But it's good for Saison, for sure, it's good.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not using Sriracha for IPA, probably. But for Saison, it will be great.
But that's the challenge. I want to use that in an IPA.
But
I want to do it.
First question about your Saison. What fermentation temperature you use? Because I know if I will brew Saison, I will use really high temperature fermentation, 28 degrees or more.
23.
23. Try it, use it more.
We went like in the 28-30 range.
Sounds good.
It was at the stone fruit level, maybe pear and it still has that nice character of after half a year in the barrels.
Because you need to get from Saisons, I need to get this phenolic, this horse blanket.
Well, that's the balance you want, right? You can have that, barnyard kind of, aroma and taste. But one thing that I like a lot about Saisons is it's kind of the peppery.
Phenolics. It's phenolic. And
well, the phenolic is still there, but it's more of the peppery and sharp, taste and aroma. And I think you can get that with a lower temperature. Now, the higher you go, I think you get more of a fruity, way more phenolic aroma. So,
okay, yeah,
I like that.
But if you got more esters, it's more fruity taste. You got from Saisons East, you got more phenolic, and for sure you got more this phenolic and more horse, like you say, peppery, and this horse blanket,
That's sweat kind of.
Sweat. Was this word? I cannot remember it. Yeah.
So is this going to be the new thing? You're all going to come out with a Saison next month.
It's clearly it's clearly hazy brewers getting out of their closets.
Arpus want to brew, Irish guy. Hopefully want to brew some Saisons, and Bereta have Saisons and 4 pilsners in it.
There you go.
Yeah.
We called our dry hop lager Comfort Zone. So it's a series, and we just call it Comfort Zone, whatever, Vic Secret and Amarillo, Comfort Zone, Strata and Mosaic, and so on.
Oh, okay. But, Arpus, what mean Arpus in Latvian language? It means outside of comfort zone, like outside.
Okay.
Arpus, it means, because the storage brew was very easy because we have 4 guys. Everyone was working for very good jobs in different companies. And I see me for a beer business for a pretty huge company, Carlsberg Group. And then the guys working for IT and financial guys. And Arpus was outside of comfort zone. Okay, let's do something outside of your comfort zone. Let's open your own business. Let's do your own beers. And this has been Arpus.
Nice story.
The box. Like you say, outside of comfort zone now.
And is that why you have a box around your emblem, around your logo?
Yes, logo, emblem is Arpus of box. Yeah, this is outside of the box. Come inside. Come outside of your box.
Okay. Very good. So listen, guys, I've had you here for an hour and 20 minutes already. I was only going to take an hour of your time. So, so thanks a million. Listen, do you have any, well, I'm afraid to ask because you'll start off again, but do you have anything you want to add at the end, or we should let you go?
Brian, thanks again. I think it's always fun to have, those conversations. And I hope, guys, I hope we stay in touch. And and let's talk more beer. That's, it's fun. I like talking about beer. I like talking about, market and all of it.
But
thanks for that again. That's really nice. Go ahead.
You'll get Arpus's beers hopefully during the week.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get them anyway, so it's not a problem.
Yeah. And do you want to leave it? Leave us? Yeah.
If you want to talk,
no, of course. I always talk about beer. First question about your sour beers, guys. Do you use like a kettle sour? Use some sour peach or some lactobacillus, or what do you do with these sour beers? What you experience with your sour beers? Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't follow. Should I answer?
Both.
Or Cristiano.
Both of you. Yeah,
we kind of go with the sour pitch, the lacto in the kettle, and just get it to 3.2 and then boil it.
pH, okay, yeah, same.
And maybe 3.3.
And for Brazilian Irish guy.
Can I ask you a question about our sour beer that you had a sip there? Yeah, how do you like that sourness?
I like the saltiness a lot because it's way higher than we do it. I'm afraid of salt. I don't know why. So I tend to go on the low side when I do goses. And it was really refreshing for a core range beer. It's like perfectly balanced.
Yeah, because there's the sourness. There's a bit of milk sugar to balance, with the sugar. Obviously, there's the salt. So everything there works together. But the way we sour it, it's actually with the lime juice itself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
it's
a clean base.
We do use like a clean base with a little more acidulated malt than the usual to get that tartness so the wort itself would be tart already, and then we boil it, but then we use a bunch of lime juice in the fermenter to actually sour that and get that citrusiness.
Please.
It's a nice and clean sourness, that
exactly,
you can actually that you build a base to work whatever fruit that you want to work with.
We used fruits to sour the beers. Just get some unripe fruits and make purees out of them and use them.
Yeah.
But usually we use the lacto to sour it.
And it was very fast question about this one. You see it, Bereta?
Yeah.
It's lactose inside. It's very sweet.
It has some lactose.
Very sweet. Yeah.
It's very sweet. It's very sweet.
It's a lot of lactose.
It's a lot of lactose. Yeah.
It's a lot.
We do use lactose as well in the no carbs, but it's not at that level here. Yeah. It's just that.
We try don't use it lactose. We have some beers with lactose, but honestly, we don't like it, and we try use it.
We use it in and out. Like for this sour, it has for a 700 liter batch. That's 300 liters of fruits or fruit purees. So 300 liters of fruit puree, 400 liters of beer, and 140 kilos of lactose.
No,
that's a lot. That's a lot. Yeah,
it's a lot.
We said just put some more.
In Latvia for sure you will sell this beer very fast. Because,
oh, really?
Yeah, for sure you will sell this beer very fast because people say, "Oh, it's so sweet," and Latvian really like sweet beers. And now we know the smoothie is big trend everywhere, like smoothie beers.
It's a big one, yeah.
Yeah, it's really big trend, and because the real smoothie is like Evil Twin or some East Coast breweries what they make, or some King Brewery from California. They make like a kettle sour and then out of purees and make this like a real nice smoothies. In Latvia, we have one brewery. They now launching three different smoothies.
Okay.
Just very light, like I think it was 3% pale ale, and then 95% of smooth puree inside. It's like a real puree in the glass, and twice pasteurized.
Did they pasteurize it?
Yeah, twice.
Okay, good job.
Boom.
Good job on that.
It's still we have some fireworks in the craft beer shops.
There are nice stories with 450 North and other breweries. Yeah, but I drank one from Evil Twin that was sweeter than syrup. So this is we blended it with water like 50-50, and it was still sweeter than the one you drink now.
Yeah, I know. We can buy same Evil Twin here in Latvia. Is the problem because we buy it from Breweries. And but still, smoothie is big trend, and
it is. And the smoothie seltzers are even bigger in trend. There's a brand in the US, I think from Michigan, called Smooge.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, they just do fruit purees with alcohol, and they CO2 it.
Yeah,
They carb it. And it's good.
Smoothie
By all means, it's good.
But it's not beer.
But no,
it's hard seltzer. But honestly, for hard seltzers, it's a very strange situation in Latvia because we have hard seltzers in our market for, I think, 10 or more years.
Okay.
You can go inside in a shop, in supermarket, buy, I don't know, maybe 100 different hard seltzers. Really, it's very popular in Latvia.
Nice.
It's not like a craft name hard seltzer. It's like a alcohol cocktails, just spirit, and mix it with some fruits.
Yeah, I saw he started doing that right now in Romania. So
it's 10 years. We have 10 years.
Oh my god!
And it is just a mix, really, isn't it? It is just a mix of.
It's a mix,
alcohol,
Yes,
and pure alcohol with
Yes, it's very popular in Latvia. It's for 10 years, not like yesterday, but really, if some craft breweries now want to make some hard seltzers, you can buy for €1.20. 14, like 1.4 ABV, strong hard seltzers in Latvia.
Cool stuff.
Yeah, it's 10% ABV hard seltzer in Latvia. You can buy it for €1.
Oh my god!
It's small 0.3 cheap plastic bottle. And people really know what people really like. Probably not in Ireland. In Latvia, we have some, for Romania for sure. We have this. Customers who buy very cheap beer in 1 liter or 2 liter pets, And
that's the biggest market here in Romania, like 2, 3, whatever liter pets.
Yes, and now after very nice football night with 2 liter pets beers
for €2.
Ooh, €1 cheaper. €1. Oh yeah, €2. Yeah, €2.
€2 for 2 liters of beer. Yeah.
And next morning, what the guys do, they go into the shop and buy the 0.3 hard seltzer for €1.29. Then 10% ABV, boom, drinking in the street and going to the work.
So, guys,
old story in Latvia, very old story in Latvia.
So, if you all have Brian, do you want to?
Yeah, I think probably we probably do need to close up. Sorry.
It was fun. Thank you.
It was good to have you. It was good to get a good picture about what's happening, like I said, and to get to taste the beers too. So, I think we should probably finish up here.
Folks, Brian, just to compliment, I would like to keep the conversation going. So, whenever you guys want to do a video again, and let's do it.
Sure,
we'll get you back on. We'll do it again. So
maybe we can join Zoom or something else.
Yeah,
we can do it. Yeah,
we can do it. No problem. If team, I don't know.
Well, you have each other's addresses and phone numbers now, anyway. So you're
absolutely
head and maybe we'll see some fancy Saison collaboration coming out.
Yeah.
Spontaneous fermentation or something.
Finish with lager yeast, maybe. I don't know.
All right. Wood aged pilsner.
Oh my god. Wood aged dry hopped pilsner, please.
No, he's not there.
All right, listen, guys. I'm going to just play out a little video here. So, thanks a million for taking. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you.
Cheers. Bye, guys.
Cheers.
We have some good ones coming up as well. We have Land and Labour are joining us next week with
There you go. Keep on going. Say hi. Say hi.
Oh yeah, we will. Butcher's Tears from Amsterdam and Neville Wild Ales will be joining as well. So it's be all about wild yeasts and wild foraging and all that area.